Hey guys, in this video we're gonna be checking out the top 10 best CPU for gaming that are available on the market for their true quality. I made this list based in my personal opinion and hours of research and have listed them based on popularity, quality, price, durability, user opinions and more. If you want to see more information in the updated price, you can check out the description below and also make sure subscribe for more reviews. Okay, so let's get started with the video. Starting at number 10, we have the AMD Ryzen 97950X3D. The AMD Ryzen 97950X3D is the pinnacle of CPU gaming right now. The 7950X3D features 16 CPU cores and 32 threads, all clocked at 5.7 GHz. The advantage bestowed upon the 7950X3D is the fact it has a much larger cache than any other CPU on the market right now. Having V-cache is great, but it does have its limitations. V-cache is incredibly sensitive to high voltages and temperatures. This means that part of the CPU has to be restricted to keep everything running properly. The great thing about the Zen 4 version of the X3D CPUs is that the 3D V-cache is only built on one of the two CCDs. This means that only half of the CPU is restricted and subject to the limitations the 3D V-cache imposes. The 7950X3D is up to 40% faster in some gaming scenarios, and it's easy to see how when you compare the success of the 5800X3D. This CPU will set you back a fair amount, but it will also gain far more than what it costs in gaming and computing performance. There's not much more to be said than that. This is the undisputed best AMD CPU for gaming this year. Just make sure you have the right cooling system in place as the CPU can run hot. You can check out our best cooler for the AMD Ryzen 97950X3D if you need a few ideas. Moving on at number 9, we have the Intel Core i9-13900K. The i9-13900K is a very powerful CPU capable of toppling the competition. Its 24-core and 32 threads dominate in both single and multi-core workloads, cementing the 13900K at the top of multi-threaded performance for the first time in years. You can read our full Intel 13900K review here, where we gave it a positive write-up. The 13900K has a TDP of 125W base and 253W boost. Now that's a massive jump in TDP over Alder Lake. But it's also a massive jump in performance. The 13th generation Raptor Lake CPUs see improved single-core performance of up to 15% and multi-core performance of up to 41%. The best part is you don't even have to upgrade your motherboard to access all of this performance, but upgrading has its benefits. L2 CPU cache is doubled this time around, giving the CPU swift access to larger, faster storage. This enabled the CPU to keep processing instructions quickly without developing a backlog to slow it down. The 13900K is seriously fast, with a boot's core speed of up to a massive 5.8 GHz, the fastest core speed on the market at the time of writing. At number 8, we have the Intel Core i9-14900K. The Intel Core i9-14900K stands out as a top-tier CPU for various compelling reasons. Firstly, it significantly enhances performance, pushing the boundaries of its architecture. This means that whether you're a professional with demanding workloads or an enthusiast seeking exceptional gaming performance, the 14900K has the power to deliver. It represents a notable step forward in Intel's lineup, showing the company's commitment to providing cutting-edge computing solutions. One of the standout features of the Core i9-14900K is its ability to maintain stability during everyday tasks. While a high-performance CPU must excel under heavy workloads, it's equally important for it to perform seamlessly during normal activities. This balance between power and reliability ensures that users can enjoy a smooth and consistent experience across the board. The Core i9-14900K shines in both synthetic and real-world benchmarks, showcasing its prowess in various scenarios. Its performance superiority is further emphasized by outperforming its predecessor, the Core i9-13900K, in all scenarios, making it the new high performer in Intel's arsenal. At number 7, we have the AMD Ryzen 9 7900X. Normally, you would expect to see the Ryzen flagship, the 7950X here. Not this time. We don't feel that the best CPU for gaming on the AMD side of things is the 7950X. We think much better value can be found in the Ryzen 9 7900X. You can read our full 7900X review here. The 7900X is part of the brand new Zen 4 architecture, bringing performance to another level on the AMD platform. Finally, the 7000 series is brought into the present with the AM5 socket providing support for both DDR5 and PCIe Gen 5. AMD users everywhere rejoice. The 8-core, 16-thread Ryzen 7900X is capable of massive multi-core performance as well as single-core performance thanks to its massive 5.6 GHz boost clock speed. AMD has seriously cranked up the single-core performance this time around, making the single-core performance on par with Alder Lake, Intel's previous generation CPUs. Cache has been doubled this time around, now 1 MB per core as opposed to 512 KB. This means more instructions for the Ryzen Zen 4 CPU cores to chew through, a CPU that's kept fed by cache in a speed manner as a fast CPU. At number 6, we have the AMD Ryzen 75800X3D. The Ryzen 75800X3D is a marvel in CPU engineering. The 5800X3D has technically claimed the top, best gaming CPU from Intel and their Core i9-12900K, but there are a couple of reasons it's not top of our list today. The 5800X3D is an excellent choice for gaming, rocking a cool 8 multi-threaded CPU cores and a whopping 96 MB of brand new AMD 3D V-cache. It seriously gains an edge in some games. 3D V-cache is where this CPU differs from literally every CPU in the world right now, as it's the only one to make use of it. 3D cache is not stacked laterally like a normal 2D cache but vertically, thanks to new 3D printing technology, hence the term 3D cache. This drastically increases the number of chipsets you can cram into an area of any given size, thus resulting in larger cache capacities without sacrificing access speeds. The vertical stacking allows AMD to achieve the massive 96 MB L3 cache with a total access speed of 2 TB per second in its 5800X3D CPUs. The 5800X3D has lower core speeds of 3.4 GHz base and 4.5 GHz max. These speeds are even lower than its brothers the 5800X. The reason for this is the 3D V-cache is unstable at higher core speeds. Thanks to the 5800X3D's low max core speeds and lack of overclocking support, it's not very good at single-core workloads or workstation tasks. If ever there was a fully fledged gaming CPU, it would be the 5800X3D. At number 5, we have the Intel Core i9-12900K. The 12900K comes with a 125W TDP which, yes, is higher than the AMD counterpart, meaning it does get a little toasty under the hood. The 12900K is only compatible with the FCLGA1700 socket, meaning a complete upgrade will be necessary if you plan on purchasing this CPU. The new 12900K comes to shelves boasting a core count of 16 and 24 threads, making it a great all-rounder for both multitasking and gaming. Intel has put its efforts into architectural improvements with the new Alder Lake lineup, improving in almost every area. With all these improvements, we finally see Intel regain the top spot as far as gaming is concerned. More impressive, however, is the fact that in workstation and multitasking scenarios, the Intel 12900K is almost as good as the Ryzen 5 900X. Pair that with crazy overclocking potential and great single-core performance and you have one tasty processor. With the Intel 14th Gen now out, and the 13th Gen set for some serious price cuts, there could well be some decent savings to be had on the 12th Gen. At number 4, we have the AMD Ryzen 9 5900X. The flagship CPU from AMD offers up uncontested gaming performance and fantastic multitasking productivity work. all of which are great for gaming, streaming, rendering, and video editing. When you pair that with its current price tag, you'd have to say that the 5900X also shows some of the best value in today's market. The 5900X is a 12-core 24-thread part, offering up a 3.7 GHz base frequency right out of the box. Furthermore, with PBO, the 5900X can be boosted to 4.8 GHz when it needs the additional power most, think gaming or productivity-type workflows. AMD, like always, has unlocked the Ryzen 9 5900X for excellent overclocking capabilities, with many users hitting 5.0 GHz respectively. This all translates to very good performance in gaming, with single-core performance having the ability to push 100 FPS plus in the most demanding of modern titles. The flagship offering also brings excellent future-proofing to your new build, supporting PCIe 4.0 for the next generation of hardware that's just around the corner. You'll be able to slot the 5900X into newer 500 series boards alongside older 400 series alternatives, making it not only powerful but versatile too. The only downside is the lack of a cooler, something that AMD's more budget-oriented alternatives don't have to worry about. At number 3, we have the Intel Core i5 to 12,600 kFarads. The i5-12600K offers up to 10 cores and 16 threads, the same as its predecessor the 11900K, but improvements to the architecture bring significant performance improvements, with up to a 30% increase in FPS on some titles. Although AMD's 5600X still beats the card in multi-core tests, making it the better CPU in this price range for workstation uses. On top of this, the 12600K typically, though not in all cases, beats the 5600X in single-core and gaming scenarios. This performance is thanks to the impressive 3.7 Hz base clock speed of the 12600K, with a tasty max single-core boost frequency of 4.9 GHz. If you're into overclocking, there's also a ton of potential to be had by doing so with this chip. At number 2, we have the AMD Ryzen 5 5600X. The 5600X was one of the most anticipated CPUs to be released when Ryzen announced its 5000 series CPU lineup, mainly thanks to some impressive benchmarking rumors. It came to the table offering a shocking mix of Intel-beating value and performance in both gaming and workflow scenarios. If you're looking for a well-priced CPU that can smash out AAA game titles at over 100 FPS and has excellent multitasking abilities, the 5600X should be high on your list of recommendations. It's the very reason why it finds itself in our list of best CPUs for gaming. Price, performance, this chip is one of the best we've seen in a long time. It has a base clock speed of 4.1 GHz alongside a 4.8 GHz boost clock frequency, putting it next to some of the top performers in this guide. Furthermore, with a 19% increase in IPC, this thing does leave the last generation of 3000 series CPUs in the dust. It comes with its CPU cooling fan, which AMD says is newly designed with excellent efficiency and almost no noise output, a feature the premium CPU options in AMD's 5000 series lineup can't boast. And finally at number 1, we have the AMD Ryzen 9 5950X. The 5950X is another step in the right direction for desktop CPUs, offering up 16 cores and 32 threads for truly unparalleled workstation performance in this guide. Unlike HET though, you won't have to purchase a custom board to run this bad boy, it'll slot right into your AM4 motherboard without a hitch. In terms of raw gaming performance, the 5950X does show a decent account of itself in this guide. Whilst it's not as good as the 10900K or 5950X, it still offers very stable FPS figures when playing modern AAA titles. With a base clock frequency of 3.4 GHz and a boost up to 4.9 GHz, you'll have more than enough juice to drive the most intense rendering and multitasking workflows. All being said, this is an excellent all-around CPU, but mainly tailored towards the individual that needs that extra productivity performance. Gamers will be better suited toward fewer cores and higher single-core performance. Thanks you for watching guys, I hope you liked this video. If this video is helpful to you, Please make sure like, comment and subscribe. If you have any question related to this product, you can leave a comment down below. I will get back to you as soon as possible.